What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Y'all know what it is. You know what time it is. It's your boy, Big Dane. Man, look at here. I'm gonna do my shout outs later on in the video. Right now, I just want to jump right into this shit. Because you know what I'm saying? Shit is on my head. Shit is on my mind. It's all on YouTube. It's all in, it's everywhere. So let's get into this. Brother Polite. Now, there's been some shit discussed for years. There's been some shit talked about and put on the table, excused and pacified, combed over and brushed over. This shit been like that for years. People have been protecting them and, saving face, all that good shit. But here we have it. Now, you done copped a plea. Let me talk to you right quick, you dirty bastard. You and your crew, those who don't want to mention the crew. Because I also seen a video. Well, let me just get on Polite first right quick. And his followers. I remember that his mentor was Dr. Malachi Z. York. For y'all who don't know who he is, don't know about the case, and the things that he had going on, research him. Look his name up. Google his name, and you'll see who he is, what his crimes were, so forth and so on. You'll also see his works or whatever. So this is his mentor, his go-to guy for inspiration, for spiritual leading, and whatever else. Who cares? Now, this guy, Polite, let me just give y'all a little backdrop. So he's known for being in the conscious community, for debating. He's known for his what you would call his sovereignty packets, that scam bullshit. He's also known for, if you hip to him on YouTube, doing the I think it was the Rolls Royce Diaries, and just for being to some obnoxiously ignorant about gaining status and money. He also said his God was money. He also said God was the black woman. So he said a lot of things that the ends didn't meet. They only meet to those in that particular fake ass community that they call the conscious community. So for years he's been on platforms. For years he's been talking to people and traveling and boasting and bragging. But for years he's been a pedophile too. For years he's been a misogynistic asshole. And those who support him and those who had his back, knowing. So let's speak on one of them. One of them was Sinetta. Now, y'all may not be familiar with Sinetta or Sinetta's TV. But I'm going to go ahead and give him his flowers up front before I give him this fucking shit stain. So Sinetta, for real, y'all, is probably one of, or if not the most how would I say this? He's been the most exposing and bringing to the table what you would call master teachers and a lot of the education that you was not getting. Because see, I've been hip to Sinetta since VHS tape. You know what I'm saying? When he was standing on the streets in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Battling. So I'm gonna give him his flowers on that. He also used to be a Black Panther, or still is, or however that go. So I recall a conversation, or I recall a time frame, and this is just because I seen Sinetta's TV yesterday, and I think there's some control damage going on. Because see, people coming at Sinetta like, oh, you put Polite in the conscious community, you introduced him in. So what I'm gonna say to that is, unless he knew prior, you can't say he put the pedophile here, because he simply just opened the platform for somebody who was already on what they was on, and then you know what I mean, and then they exploited the position or some of the accesses that they had. So I must take it a step further and go into how it's very clear that he knew what was going on, because in this interview or in this live, he's talking, and what he said, well, I already knew, but what he said was he recalled when people came at him for calling POLIGHT Baby York. This was years ago. After you've done that, y'all became back friends. After that, I recall him going out of town or somewhere he was living or whatever, and you, Sonetta, went out of town. So you were fine with taking some of his money because he gave you some money when you got there. He gave you some good bread to travel around with. He also gave you a truck to ride around with. You know what I'm saying? To spend some of that old good bread. You understand? So you coherently know that this nigga is a toucher. You coherently know what he been doing because you called him on it when y'all was angry at each other, like a woman and a man do in an argument. You called him on that bullshit, but then when y'all, you know, whatever the case was behind the scenes, you combed it over and said you was lying, or you know, whatever. But you knew it, and you know it. So there's no saving no face. You clearly was in cahoots, kicking it and sliding with this slime ball, who you know is a slime ball. You've seen the slime ball sliming in action before. And this is what we call Sonetta, House of Consciousness, king of the conscious community over there. When I kept telling y'all, and I'm going to continue to tell y'all, there's no such thing as a conscious community when conscious only means to become aware of something that you didn't already know or is new to you. It's awareness. So in the conscious community, what are they aware of? Are they aware of, oh, I'm from Africa, oh, I'm Kemetic, or I'm Israelite, and I'm Islamic, and I'm Moorish? Is that what you're aware of? Because you damn sure ain't aware of these kids out here being fucked around and touched on. That's what you damn sure ain't aware of. You damn sure ain't aware of all these hungry ass mommies and babies in these houses alone. You damn sure ain't aware of that. You damn sure ain't aware of all these brothers getting wrongly convicted. That's for damn sure. So the message to the unconscious community is get y'all shit straight or this a fucking peer. Because the real people is out here doing the work, who got them boots on the ground. I don't want to hear about, no, I've been doing this for years. I was out here with when debating and this and that. Nobody gives a fuck about that shit. Because let me tell you one thing for sure and two things for certain. When you became aware that you were Hebrew, or when you decided that you were Hebrew Israelites, you understand what I'm saying? Listen. When you decided that, nothing told you that the community needed taken care of. When you decided you were a Kemetic priest, nothing dawned on you that this could help the community. Oh, I'm a Moor. Nothing could be more gracious than if you could change or help the community. It's all a bunch of bullshit. Now, whether the writings or the practices and the teachings and all of that is really sustainable, that needs to be seen. Because see, like I said this in several videos before, if I ride around my city, I can clearly see when I drive into a Jewish community. Because they have businesses with their writing, they have stores and grocery stores and pharmacies and schools and daycares of their own. I can clearly see if I ride into a Chinatown or a Hispanic town. See, all y'all want to be conscious. Be conscious of self first. So what am I saying? Be aware. Become aware of you being where you're being at the present moment. Take in the universe's information. Get you some very good understanding. And then begin to maneuver like that. You don't need these small sects and these small cults to define who you are or to tell you who you are. I keep telling y'all, everybody brown that's on this soil didn't come from Africa. I can prove it by just this one simple test. As far as a lot of y'all can look back in y'all photo album, to some of y'all new people who don't know what it is, a book we used to keep Polaroid pictures in, you know, to save memories. We didn't have cell phones in the cloud. Look back in those. I guarantee you 80% of y'all, as far as you look back, you don't see any slaves. You don't see any Africans. But what you start to see is natives. No, I'm not buying into the Aboriginal situation either. What I'm telling y'all is there's a lot of different stories and renditions of who you are and where you come from. But if you just be you in the nowness, don't let them titles define who you are, where you come from. Know it. Know it as far back as grandma or great grandma was telling you. And live that out if you wish. Or be you in your now existence. Now back to whole ass brother POLIGHT. Selling all these sovereign packets and riding around in Rolls Royces and Bentleys and trying to high side in all these fancy glasses and speak this bullshit ass legalese language to all these people. You done had the nerve to take one of your wife's daughter, bruh. Drug her. Physically abuse her. Sexually abuse her. Take her back. And then hope that the mom have no reaction and don't shit on you. Because of the cult and the brainwashing that you practice. This time, you got the foot up the ass. Now, I understand he came out with something like 7 years, 10 years on that, what is it, whatever it is, when they release the people and they got a tail on your ass. I don't know if it's probation or what's the other word. One of y'all jail niggas will figure that shit out. But, so he got that. And some saying that's not long enough. Well, in actuality, that was part of the plea. He actually got like 61 years. You understand what I'm saying? So if he get out and then violate, he's going back to complete that. I hope when he get out, somebody force him to violate. Because one thing I hate is a child touching ass nigga who try to portray himself as a God fearing or a godly figured guy. Not alone a community saving people guy. You up here debating people and where they come from, debating on did God really create homosexuality because he made evil and good at the same time. Think about it. Now you got enough time to sit there and try to figure out, was the sovereignty packet for real? Because you sure is locked up, my brother. So if you Moorish, they ain't helping you. Oh, my bad. I forgot. You fucking Wapian. Well, guess you need to write you some letters, bruh. Just know one thing, though, brother POLIGHT and conscious community and sign of the TV. Ain't gonna be shit polite going on up in that joint when he roll up. So you done made yourself a figurehead now. Everybody recognize you. As soon as you come in there, I hope they hit you across your shit. Boop. And then across your shit. Boop. That's a shame. That's a shame. Then you got platform, well, one that's almost lightweight, like I said, trying to save face. There's nothing to explain. Yeah, we can talk. Well, you hear people saying, well, why don't we focus on the baby and the mom? Why don't we not put them in the light? Because that's trauma. So why don't we not focus on them? Why don't we focus on killing the image of that beast? Not on bringing the mom into the light. Not on bringing the daughter into the light. Let's talk about the subject and the multiple pedos in this so-called conscious community. Let's talk about that. Let's put some names and faces on this shit and quit being hoes and suckers behind this YouTube screen because you're scared of demonetization. Let's do the work and quit getting worked.